Awesome. Awesome. So, well, I am not like, so this isn't live or anything, and I'll just cut out stuff, but so this is the first time I've interviewed anyone. So
Sure.
I'm kind of nervous, to tell you the truth. And so I guess we'll just start with like really simple stuff, because a lot of people probably don't even know who you are, to be truthful. And so can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Peter Lyford, and I represent District 129, which is
Okay,
Clifton, Eddington, Holden, Vesey, and a portion of North Brewer.
nice. How long have you been a Maine state legislator?
This would be my 7th year. I'm in my 4th and final term.
Okay,
What I've done is I've presented to the body a joint resolution to end the emergency proclaimed by the governor.
right.
And in order to put this joint resolution forward, I needed the signature of the House, of the Senate President and Speaker of the House. They both have signed this, so I could bring it forward, and for that I appreciate it. Now, this isn't trying to put an end to the virus or anything. It's just intended to continue it, only with bipartisan cooperation between the two bodies.
Right, so it would be getting back to our constitutional roots, is where we're sharing the power amongst the three branches: the executive branch, the governor's office, the legislature, and the judiciary. Is that correct?
And that's absolutely correct. And it is part of the Maine Constitution. I mean, our constituents on both sides have been silent
Yeah,
for 12 months. That's who elected us. They haven't been part of this at all. And it is time now, I believe, that we get back together, working the way we always have. We go to the table expecting to get so much, each one of us. We compromise and come away successfully. And this is the way the government's been running for well over 100 years. It's time to get back to doing this. And, public input by us, we elected officials, is extremely important. A lot of people's lives have been changed over this course of this time without having much say in what's going on through their legislators. So that's the reason for my joint resolution, and I'm certainly hoping that everybody will see it the same way. And I don't want to change anything that's been done. I'm not trying to advocate with mask, no mask. What the governor has proposed and what's going along, I'm not trying to change any of that. I'm just saying that all the bodies should be part of this decision making.
right. And that's how our constitution, our federal constitution, and our state constitution was developed and planned. And because power is a dangerous thing. That's the bottom line. And our founding fathers understood that power is a dangerous thing. And when power free floats around, that's anarchy, and people can grab at it and take it and do what they will. So the founding fathers, we're not in an anarchy situation. We're on the other end of that spectrum, and it needs to be dispersed equally through the bodies of government and to the people as well. And when the people can't contact their legislators, they have no way to petition their government. When they have no feedback back from their government, that's when things get explosive with people. They get tired and fed up, and then you see situations like down at the Capitol on January 6th, which was a terrible, horrible situation. So that being said, just let's imagine that this passes tomorrow. Then what happens after?
Well, this is not an emergency
Right.
bill of any kind, so therefore it will not take 2/3 majority. This will be a simply majority vote.
Right.
So I'm certainly hoping that will happen. Now, a little bit of the argument has been that with the governor not having this emergency power, it'll affect federal funds. And I say that the federal government will not forget the state of Maine if we go to a democracy form of government. And that's the way I feel about it.
So are you saying, I'm not sure if I heard you quite right, but are you saying that we're being kept in this sort of non-democratic state? I don't have another word for it. Essentially to get the federal funds.
That's what has been said. That's correct.
Right.
But, other states have eliminated this also already. So we wouldn't be the first.
Right.
By any means. So.
Right. Right. So
Pretty simple joint resolution, really. It's just, and I understand there are other ones that have been put forward.
right.
I don't know how they're written or what the detail is. I know that the calendar is extremely heavy tomorrow.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I don't know, but we'll be a couple of days. But this is not necessary. We need to flow at a nice even pace.
Right. So will you guys be a couple days up there at the Civic Center?
We have been told to prepare for Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday being exceptionally long day.
Okay.
So maybe we'll get it done. But I was interviewed this afternoon by Don Kerrigan. He's going to have it on the news tomorrow night.
Nice.
And Don said he'd see me tomorrow, but he has seen the calendar. I haven't. And he said it's thick. It's heavy.
Wow. Well, you guys have a lot on your plate. And then all of this too with the pandemic or a state of emergency. So going back to if this were to pass, if the House passes it and then it goes to the Senate and it passes. So that just it doesn't say the emergency is over. It just says that Governor Mills cannot act as a monarch. I really don't know what other word to say. I mean, she has complete power at this time. And I mean, that's kind of a bad spin to put on what she's doing, but she's just operating top down. So it essentially would only open the door, is that correct, to the legislators?
That is absolutely correct. Actually, she could share the glory or she could share the blame.
Right. Correct. So, and that would be the right thing to do, it seems, and that we should all be supporting our Maine state constitution and how our originator, the founding fathers, and the founding fathers are not Thomas Jefferson and such in this case, but the founders of Maine and how they intended our government to work. Yes. And being respectful of and acknowledging that power corrupts and power is a dangerous instrument, and that to keep us all safe and protect all of our rights, that needs to be distributed appropriately.
And that's right. And this bill, this joint resolution, this doesn't say anything about going forward changing the state of emergency that the governor can proclaim. That's, again, I mean, if we want to change it from indefinite to only 3 months and reviewed every 3, whatever, that'll be done together.
Right.
And so this doesn't have anything to do with anything like that at all. This is just bringing us back to state of Maine Constitution, democracy.
Right. Is there anything in the works to address the Maine Emergency Powers Act to make sure this doesn't happen in the future?
Well, no, I don't know that there is. There could be, but I don't know there is. And this we may need this. This was put in for a reason, and we may need this again someday. But certainly, I don't think maybe in quite the way it's written at the moment. But that's to be decided together. Right.
So I would think that any state or any community needs something that addresses emergency. So I wouldn't advocate for abolishing that act, but it certainly needs to have language that says a governor or a legislative body needs to review every I don't know, 2 weeks, that this particular, how this has played out, that can't happen again.
It has been a long time. You know,
Right.
a year is a long time to have one person. That's not how the people who have contacted me, you know, are in favor of this resolution.
Right. So the people going to your constituents, what have you been hearing from your constituents about over the past year?
Exactly what we've discussed is, you know, how are you going to get your word out? How can you hear the things that we want you to bring to the table? And you can't do anything. You know, I haven't been able to act on, you know, bringing a bill or up whereby something has to change. Can't do that. I mean, we've been silenced.
Right. And
I want to point out, we have always been ready to go back and talk about the virus, budget problems because of the virus. We've always been ready to go back. There's been some claim that we wouldn't go back because the other party wanted to discuss the 200 and 250 bills that we left on the table when we abruptly left in March. But, you know, we felt that at this time, the only thing we should be talking about is virus-related problems and budget-related problems. So we've always been ready to go back, but unable to.
yeah, that must be pretty frustrating, especially when you're getting calls from constituents who are frustrated and having issues. I mean, I've heard a lot about, and I have 6 children altogether. 3 of them are out of the home, 3 are still in the home. But from other moms and other parents, that how difficult this lockdown has been on children and the disruption in school. And, you know, schools are part-time or not going, or some are going full-time, and just a whole bunch of different situations. And it's really frustrating for the parents, and not good for the kids. So I'm sure you're hearing a lot of constituent stories, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, education, you know, we have all we can do to keep up with the world.
Right.
You know, a lot of other places go to school year round, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Our children, their education is important, just as their health is too.
Right.
And but I can't help them at all.
No,
I
no.
encourage legislators to pass this joint resolution so that we can have bipartisan action with the legislature.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. And that's how our government has been designed. So we'll move forward with that. Well, thank you so much. I don't think there's a whole lot more to add. I think maybe one last note, if people still have the time tonight or even tomorrow morning, call their legislators still email them. It doesn't matter if we're Republicans or Democrats or independents or Greens. We want a fair democracy and republic, and that's how we want to live, and that's what we want for our children's future. We don't want this for our children's future. I can't imagine anyone wanting this type of government.
Well said.